The yurt is getting put back up. So that's right, we are putting the yurt back up. Maybe you didn't even know that the yurt was down. 10 years strong the yurt has been going, and it got to the point that the outside coverings were starting to degrade pretty badly. It was still probably going to be usable, I would say, for another year or two, but since we have a shop that we can sew just about anything, we thought, let's just make a new outside. And I always wanted it to be brown. When I got it, it was like a off-white color, which I absolutely hated. So we're finally making it the color I always wanted. It's all finished up, and I'm going to set it up on camera today, because I do get a lot of questions about that, about setting up yurts, and they're a great tool for the outdoors. I can tell it literally it lasted 10 years. They're so much fun to sleep in. So if you're an avid outdoor goer, camper, or you have some property, I highly recommend a yurt. They're awesome. So when it comes to setting up a yurt, I consider there being 5 main components to the yurt itself. One is the door frame. Now this does come apart. It's just held together with some bolts. So this is very packable. I already have it together though. So we have a door frame. We have the lattice wall, which this is the wall, believe it or not. This thing will open up. It's awesome. So we have the roof ring. That's the next part. Have all these little holes that the roof rafters, which we have a whole bunch of these things, they actually fit up in here. Okay, you're gonna see all that go together. And then last but not least, we have the top and side wall covering. This is what we actually made at the shop. So it's all set up and ready to go. I'm so excited about it. So let me start setting this thing up and tell you about it. But first, let me tell you about today's video sponsor. So today's sponsor is NordVPN, which is a virtual private network. It's a service that protects your connection and privacy while searching online through encrypting your connection and hiding your IP address. So I know that might sound like a lot of tech talk, but here's the thing. We come outside, we want to keep ourselves protected, and when we're online, it should be no different. To use a service like this is super simple. You literally just click on the app, and you can use it on up to 6 devices, and then use the internet as you normally would, but it's going to keep all your information private. The service is going to block ads, tracking, and data collection. You can also go on and you can pick which server throughout the world you want to use. There's 5,500 servers in 59 countries. So what that means is that you can go and pick a server in a different country and get content from that country. So movies, documentaries, all kinds of good stuff that you normally would not have access to. And that is my favorite part of it. I love to go on this, and I've been using this for a while. I found out about this from another YouTuber years ago. So I get to go on and I can look at people from Sweden and the UK because they do some wild bushcraft stuff over there. So I absolutely love it for that purpose, and it's also keeping me safe while I'm online. And then lastly, their newest feature is called Threat Protection. This service guards your device against malicious website malware, trackers, and ads. Again, keeping you as safe as this yurt's going to keep us while we're out here. So if you're interested in a service like this, which I highly recommend, click the link down in the description, nordvpn.com/Coalcracker. You will get a 2-year plan with a huge discount plus 1 month free. So really good stuff. Keep your online everything safe with NordVPN. Now we're going to get back to the yurt. Now, although this lattice wall might not look like much right at the moment, it opens up pretty tremendously big. So you just unroll it and you start to work it out just like that. Now, as you may or may not already know, yurts are round, but when you initially set this up, okay, you want to just get it as round as possible. Once we start to put the roof rafters in, that will actually set it properly. So first lattice wall, then we're going to put the door frame in place. Okay, so on this specific yurt, okay, there are holes, as you can see right here, okay, in the door frame, and that is what matches up with the lattice. So the lattice and the door frame actually get bolted together here, right down the side. We will have to pull these bolts out later on to put on the outside wrap, but for now you just put these things in place and yeah, get ready for some mayhem. All right, so our beautiful lattice wall and door frame are up at this point. Just shifted it around a little bit. Again, that circle is not going to be perfect yet until we get the roof rafters and the ring in. The next step is to put a runner around the top. This is just going to give a little bit of support to this lattice wall here as we go, because it is going to start taking on some weight. Now I'm not going to pull this, I'm going to just pull it taut, not super tight. I'll go back after the rafters are in and we'll retighten this thing up because it's going to flex a little bit and move. So we want to get this in place right now, just enough to give it some support as it goes. Now we are at the most difficult step doing this by yourself, and that is the roof ring. So what I do is I put one side in, and then I get my second side started, and I just got to work this up till I get it in place without that side falling out. All right, and then I just rotate myself and get the next one in. Once this gets in, now I need to adjust. All right, so that one fell, but that's okay. So we'll just reposition that one in place here as we go. Now, one more, can we get it? I think we'll be all right. So I'm gonna take this one out to the front and let that fall. All right, and we got it. So now what's on the agenda is to just continue to put these things in and adjust the frame as needed. It's a pretty simple process. Now again, if you have two people to do that, easy. So yeah, it's just me though today. So glorious, so awesome. Check it out. The canvas wall is now ready to go up on the outside. So what you actually do is you take some of these bolts back out from the door and you bolt it back on. And then as you go, the top of this just gets hung over the lattice wall to keep it nice and tight. Hanging that way, we'll come back and fix up that one. But you just work your way around. Really easy stuff. Wall's up, looks good. Everything fell into place where we needed it. Now, time for the roof. Literally just slide it over the top and we're done. Home sweet home, baby. All finished up. Awesome, right? So there you go. That's how we set up a yurt. If you ever have the opportunity to stay in a yurt or to rent one or to buy one, I highly recommend it. It is definitely my favorite. Semi-permanent wilderness living structure. The things hold up great. And in the winter with the stove in there, with the snow coming down on the outside, It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I'm gonna mess around a little bit more with this. I do have to get my door flap for the front, and then I think that we're gonna be just about set unless we decorate it up on the inside and stuff. But this is only a temporary home for this. I'm gonna find a new spot on the property that we set it up with an entire camp, so you'll get to see that probably through the fall months. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe link below. Also, thank you to NordVPN. You can click that link again, nordvpn.com/Coalcracker, for protection when you are not in the woods and online watching all this cool stuff. So definitely check that out too. And then check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com, and stay in the woods.